now, just letting you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
No. Who's on? Is it just us three, or is Hogarth in
Yeah,
as well?
no, it's just us. I invited Hogarth in because sometimes he just joins if I invite him. So
Pardon me.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think he will join though.
Might be having his tea.
He might be having his dinner.
Yeah, it's Monday, innit? We don't normally do it Monday, do we?
Nah, well, I was working yesterday and I was like, I'm just so tired. I couldn't be asked. I got home and I was just like, I want to chill. So
Do you know what? Sundays are fine, but the problem is I always feel shattered
yeah,
on Sunday because it's like I know I've got to go back to work again, so I'm all like, ooh. Where
yeah,
Monday, a little bit more alive, even though I have been back to work.
totally. I understand that. Do you want the show notes to add your games in or anything, or?
I've not played much.
I can't. This might be like one of the shortest shows of all time, mate.
Okay.
I've played literally Final Fantasy in about half hour of Gravity Rush 2. That's about it.
Yeah, well, that's a new game to talk about anyway.
Well, yeah, but I can't really talk a great deal about it. I've hardly seen much of it apart from the intro bit.
You can just say the intro looks nice. That's the end. Thank you.
Uh, but
So,
yeah, surprisingly enough, when I went in Tesco's, I was a bit pissed off to see that they weren't even selling it, and I was like, "This is why certain games don't sell very well, copies, because the main stores don't fucking stock them."
yeah.
What's that? What game was that?
Gravity Rush.
Oh yeah, yeah. You never see that in the shops, would you?
Fucking stupid, mate.
Well, they only go for the big titles, and Gravity Rush 2 was not. I mean, the thing is, certain things you don't see anyway. I mean, when was the last time you ever saw a Vita game in a supermarket?
Well, yeah, pretty
Yeah, I
much
mean,
deny that.
Wii U games only appeared. I mean, I used to look for Wii U games all the time, and they only appeared a little while ago. But even then, they only have a little tiny selection. Uh, Same with DS games, to be honest. As soon as it's a huge console that sells a lot of bits and bobs, you don't see many of the games in the supermarkets. It's all about the PS4 and the Xbox One. I noticed.
Indeed.
I went into because I went to Brighton on Saturday, and I went into CEX in Brighton. Bloody hell, that Brighton CEX absolutely massive, as in like busy. There were so many people in there. I've never seen a CEX so busy before, and there was people in there buying loads of stuff. There was people in there. There was a guy selling off all his Wii U games. He had about 25 games he was selling, getting ready to get his 50p for them all. And then, and as I said, there was quite a lot of people getting rid of Wii U stuff in there. And then I went into game, and I'll tell you what, the game wasn't that busy in there, to be honest. But there was a guy in there, and he did make me laugh. He went up to the counter, and I was just waiting for something I was buying. And he handed his No Man's Sky in. He goes, "Oh, I want to try,"
yeah.
and he said, "I want to trade this in." And the bloke goes, "Oh, you'll get a fiver for that." Fiver? Well, Jesus Christ! So, and he traded that in to get the Fallout 4 season pass, which was £40.
Bloody hell.
God.
He said, "Oh, there's your fiver, Ross. So that's £35 you've got to pay." He said, "Oh, that's a good deal you've done there." He goes,
How can they sell a season pass more than the actual game itself?
"I don't know.
You can pick that Fallout 4 up for like under 20 quid.
Can you? I don't know."
That's crazy. When some DLCs are ridiculous, like so this morning I was chatting to Sly, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm back into playing Mass Effect 3 at the moment. I completed all the DLC, blah blah blah." And I said to him, "Oh, I remember playing Mass Effect 3 like back in the day, and I thought all the DLC." Because all the DLC came out after I completed the game, and I thought that the DLC kind of was for like if you're halfway through the game and did some like the Citadel one or whatever.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
bits. Wasn't there a prologue as well?
Yeah, I can't remember. So I think
Yeah.
at the time I was like, well, I've finished the game. I'm not going to play it again because it's a long ass fucking game. So just out of interest, because I've got a copy of the game here, I thought, oh, I'll go on Xbox Live and see how much the DLC is. Like the DLCs are still like 10 or 15 quid per fucking download. Even
Yeah.
now, I'm like, they're fucking nuts, man. I thought they would include them in like the EA Access, but no, it's just the
Yeah,
base
or
game of
sell
EA
them
Access. Yeah.
because they're not really going to make a profit or that much money anymore, are they? And
No, yeah.
No. Bit of a
but
strange
then
one.
again, you've got half these companies might be like, well, someone can pick the game up for like £3 or £4, so fuck it, they can give us more money for the DLC. You still
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
20k.
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, and especially if it goes on the backwards compatible for like on the Xbox. I mean, it's great because you'll get a load of people go out and buy the game even for a couple of quid or whatever from wherever, and then go, oh yeah, I really enjoy this. I'm going to pay for the DLC. I bet,
Yeah.
to be honest, it'd be quite interesting to see the figures, and I bet you some of this stuff that does get put on the backwards compatible. I bet you some of it does get rebought. You know, I mean, I just bought the Star Wars season pass for Battlefront, but only because it was on offer for 15 quid for the whole lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that was about like 25-30 quid, wasn't it?
No,
I
it's
think.
£40. That was.
Oh yeah, typically, yeah, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. And I only bought it because one, I wanted the Rogue One stuff, but there was no way I was paying like 10 because they were £10 each or £12 each for for each bits. And I thought I'm not paying that kind of money, especially because all they are is, I mean, on that they're just a skin. It's just all right. You get the Death Star bits. I mean, I'll talk about that in a little while. But yeah, it's all right. I wouldn't pay 40 quid though. So
Fucking
Yeah, you
mad.
do. Like, I think the only people who seem to get away with paying that sort of price for or charging that amount for a DLC season pass is EA and like Call of Duty. Like most of the others are like £25 and stuff. Like, wasn't the Division one like £20 or £23 or something like that? It wasn't
no,
that
it was.
expensive,
I
was
thought it
it?
was more. I thought it was more than that, wasn't
No, it
it?
wasn't.
Division One
Definitely
wasn't.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't over 25 quid.
Because I was
As
tempted to
far
buy
as
it,
I
but I didn't in
remember.
the end.
Yeah, you get quite a lot from that, considering. So I think they're selling each of the DLC separately for about $11.99. So yeah, you probably save about a tenner by
And
getting
then
the season pass.
you got on the other side of the fence, you got Overwatch, which is giving out the DLC for free, and then you've got the biggest game I think that's just done the best overall is GTA, all free. And how much have they added to that game?
Yeah,
It's
but
still
imagine how much
top
money they
selling.
make off of it with them
Oh yeah,
fucking
yeah.
start cards and that. They've made millions of pounds on just the online part again, and a lot of people are speculating that most of Red Dead 2 or this Red Dead coming up is going to be online.
Yeah, I know. Mm.
Which I'm kind of hoping they stay to what they did with 5, where it's like a separate thing.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'd like.
they've made so much money off of GT5, and if it wasn't for the online thing, they wouldn't have sold as many copies, I don't think, because that's why a lot of people rebought it again for like the next gen systems. That's why it's constantly in the top 10 best-selling games
Top
for each
5.
system.
It got back in
Yeah,
the top 5 last. I think it's just after Christmas, didn't it?
It's mad. I mean,
it's
and how
crazy.
old is this game now?
4 or 5 years, isn't it?
It's
Well,
crazy.
it was on the 360, so that's 4 years because the PS4s have been out 3 years and the Xbox Ones. They're 3 years old now, aren't they? So it was
So
originally on
4 years. Yeah, I'd say 4
yeah,
years then.
4 years and 4 years old. Wow. Oh, I know. I found my copy the other day, so I was well chuffed. I
Good
did have
man.
8 hours of downloads to update though. So
Nice.
Wow.
yeah, I'm going to start playing that again actually at some point.
Right, shall we start?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well. Most of what we've been chatting about would have been all right to have in the show itself, actually, to
That's
be
right.
honest.
I'm recording it anyway, so.
Oh, someone's mobile.
That's my phone. Oh, babe, can you check the food, please? Cool. Right. Right. You ready?
Yeah.
We'll go switch and stunty then, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Alright, cool. Alright, and a 3, and a 2, and 1. Hello, and welcome to Mojo Radio, episode 411, for Monday, the 23rd of January, 2017. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag, PSN ID, Steam ID, Webby317, and joining me today is...
Hello, it's Sensei Switch.
You got the Team Blue this week. None of these PC tossers. It's number one Stuntmaster.
And that's it.
Team Blue, what's that? Depressive?
No, Team Blue. You know, the PS Sony side.
Oh, I thought you meant as in blues, and like we've got the blues all the time because we're always moaning about everything.
Oh, right, no.
Well, that as well.
We do moan a lot, but I mean, actually, might as well get back straight into that. Mad negativity in the last couple of weeks about the Nintendo Switch is unbelievable, isn't it?
Okay, so tell me why you're positive about it, because I'm one of these people that's quite negative on it. I think it looks fucking shit. I'm not going to pick it up. I just don't see it as a product that suits my gaming needs at all. It looks like something that's aimed for little kids, to be quite honest.
I would not give a little kid that as something to muck around with, to be honest.
Well, you'd have to
I think
pay.
if a kid got hold of that, mate, you just hear screaming.
I just think, you know, it's going to be vastly underpowered, and for me personally, why would I need to take it with me? I don't travel. I don't do public transport. I'm a grown man and I drive a car. I don't get this at all. I think Nintendo are shooting themselves in the foot, really, because they've got fuck all games coming out at launch, and it's just I don't get it. I mean, if you want Zelda and you have a Wii U, well, you can play it on the Wii U. So what's the fucking point in picking this up unless you want a rehash of fucking Mario Kart or Bomberman?
Well, Bomberman's not been out before actually on the Wii or the Wii U, has it?
Yeah, we haven't had a Bomberman for ages, to be honest. I think the last one was an Xbox Live game, wasn't it?
Yeah, so when I think of a game like Bomberman, I think of like a small £10 downloadable title, not a £55 fucking purchase.
Wow, is that what they're charging for
That
it?
is what they're charging
I've seen
for
it
it.
for 50. I've seen it for 50.
Oh, £5 less. Oh, shit! Oh,
Right.
that makes it all better then.
I thought it was bad that they were going to charge like about £30 for the Street Fighter 2 HD remix thing as well.
I just don't get. I seriously think that Nintendo are not going to sell the 10 million that they want to sell. And you saw that as soon as they announced it, their stock price plummeted because their investors are just not seeing are not seeing the magic.
Right, let's get this off the, as in basically, what do we want from Nintendo? This is what everyone keeps saying. Oh, we want Nintendo to do that. We want them to compete with the Xbox and the PlayStation. We want it to have the same graphics as the Xbox and the PlayStation. We want it to do.
They've never said they wanted to do that. No, compete with them, though.
Nintendo has never been the same, and this is what people need to get into their head. Right, Nintendo are not the same as PlayStation. They're not the same as Xbox. They are on a different path to what Xbox and PlayStation are doing. They are on a different path which caters for kids. Right, I can't think of anything on my PlayStation and Xbox that is purely for kids. As in, there's bits and bobs, but proper kids sort of stuff. So you can put on, and you're not going to get all. What?
What about Knack?
Yeah, I don't know. Knack wasn't really that. It wasn't aimed. It was aimed at all sorts. It wasn't just aimed at kids. The thing is with Nintendo, I've always felt is Nintendo consoles have always been aimed at the younger generation through to the older generation. Okay, but they come up with this, beautiful, colourful world. Okay, you look at Mario and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's agreed. Yeah,
and people say, oh, it doesn't compete with the PlayStation for the graphics or the. I'll be honest. I've got games on my Wii U that I think are 50 times better than stuff on the Xbox One and the PS4 because they're vibrant. The colours are beautiful. They don't need. I don't.
I'll give you a great case in point of basically a beautiful looking game, not on a Nintendo console that was just so Nintendo. Viva Pinata.
Yeah, but how old's that now?
Exactly. But yeah, that just goes to show you that like that game was like super amazing looking because of its color and vibrant sort of character and design and everything to it. But yeah, if you're thinking obviously of something that's quite Nintendo that isn't actually on a Nintendo, I'd say that's probably the closest thing I've played.
But the thing is that Nintendo don't want to go down this route of just being the same as the Xbox and the PlayStation, so they go down this different route of trying different things out. And the thing is, if they just did what PlayStation and Xbox would do, they wouldn't win. They wouldn't win. I mean, look at the Xbox and the PlayStation at the moment. Who's winning that battle? PlayStation. Where's
Well,
Xbox?
yeah, but also you've got
No.
to think of if you're bringing something out that's going to directly compete with the PS3 and the Xbox One, you're coming into the market, like you say, 3 to 4 years later on, when
Yeah.
there's already millions of those systems in people's homes already. Are they really
Yeah.
sort of
Or a
drop in
PC.
their new system and get another one?
That's right. Or you just, I mean, a lot of the kids, you think how many kids between the ages of, I don't know, 12 to 16 have not gone down the console route, have gone down the PC route because, as I say, things on Steam are a lot cheaper to buy. So, and Nintendo are looking at the younger audience. I mean, my daughter's grown up with Nintendo. I mean, our Wii U is used a lot in this household, and we put it on for Mario Party, Mario Kart, and then there's other bits and bobs as well. I mean, she's dying for a Pokemon game to come out for the Switch. And at the moment she's just playing. We picked one up on Saturday. That was what I bought in CEX. It was a Pokemon Pikachu game that she wanted. Bloody screw me, that did for 20 quid. But if Nintendo bring out something like a Pokemon game for the Switch, then I think it will do well. There is things that aren't great with the Switch. I'll be honest with that. Price point, it's not that expensive. People say 279 quid. It's actually the third cheapest console on launch for years.
300
Plus
quid.
it's
300
but-
quid.
280.
It's-
280.
Yeah, it's not just the console though, is it? It's a handheld as well.
You know,
So
See, the thing that Nintendo need to think about, and its recommended retail price is 300 quid. You can't get away from that. That's how much it's meant to be sold for. Yes, you can probably find it for 10 or 20 quid cheaper in other places, but you still got to buy a game. So, and the games are 50 quid. And Nintendo games do not drop in price anyway. So already they're on the back burner because you can pick up an Xbox One or a PS4 for like 200 quid or less now. So, if I didn't have a console, I'd be like, well, why am I going to buy this when I could get a more powerful machine for half the price?
You've just said it
but then
automatically.
then you can't play Mario, you can't play Zelda, you can't play any of the sort of like Nintendo brand IPs.
Yeah, but when's Mario out? At the end of the year. So on launch day,
No, it's done. It's done. I know that from the source. It's done, but they won't release it because they don't want to release it in the same window as Zelda, I've been told.
So, and my other case in point is, if you already have a Wii U, there is no point on getting the Switch on launch for Zelda because you can play it on the Wii U anyway.
Yeah, but there's only 13 million people that bought the Wii U, so it's not really going to cater for a lot of people anyway, to be honest. But I mean, the thing is, you just said it there, right? Little Johnny, goes with his daddy into the store, sees all the. I mean, I've seen it. I've gone into these stores, and you see it. You see all the colourful, the Mario and the rest of it, and then you go on the other side and you see the green for the Xbox, but there's nothing really exciting there. And then you go to the blue of the PlayStation. There's nothing really exciting there. But then you see the Mario in there with the little figure, and it's like, he's got his thumb up and the rest of it.
How old do you think these kids are? Because most people I know who have like 8-year-old kids are all playing Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, not all of them. I mean, there is I don't know. A lot of the kids at 8-year-olds are in Overwatch. So, but as I say, there is a market out there, and that's trouble. People are too negative, and they're not giving things a chance. I mean, my friend Alex Nintendo Arcade, he actually went to a closed behind doors Nintendo
preview event or whatever.
Preview event. Yeah, he went to that last week, and I had a chat to him the day after. And okay, he is very much a Nintendo fanboy. I'd say he's the biggest fanboy out there. But he went in there, open mind to see what it was like, and he was quite surprised at how much tech is actually in this. This product. I mean, these Joy-Cocks or Joy-Cons, whatever they're called, they've got quite a lot of tech in them for what you can do with them. When you slide them off the actual side of the actual main screen. and he said that's why they are the price they are, because they're not just like a Wii, the old Wii, motion control sort of jobby. There's more tech in these, what these can do. He said one of the games, which is one two switch, I think it's.
Yeah.
He said that's quite fun and all the rest of it. I mean, I've had a quick look at 121 or whatever, 12 switch it's called. It looks quite entertaining. I must admit, I was a little bit disturbed slightly because there was one of the bits I've seen. There's like these two blokes standing there, and it looks like they're creaming themselves over a cow.
They're milking a cow. But
right.
what puzzles me is why the fuck isn't that a game that's bundled with the console? Why would you need to buy that separately? Because I'm not going to buy that separately. It doesn't really interest me. But yeah, if it was bundled in with the console, that's a whole different kettle of fish. You're going to give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they haven't. I mean, they said that there was the price. They couldn't get the price at 280 unless they would have had to gone over that price if they bundled the game in. That's a bit of a bad step for Nintendo, I'd say, because to be honest, if you look at previous in the past, on the Wii U we had Nintendo Lands, which was a great game. We still play it bits and bobs on it. Little party games, won't keep the interest for months, but it was fun at the time. And then Wii Sports, which was huge. I mean, that sold millions, didn't it? But hold on a minute. I don't know on that. I mean, the other games that are coming out, yes, you got Zelda. I found out today that they pulled the guidebook, didn't they, from Amazon today?
All right.
What was that?
Because of how big the game is. The game is massive. Proper.
Yeah, I've heard it's massive. But is it going to be massive and empty, or is it going to be massive and actually full of shit to do?
No, it's massive as in there's a lot to do. I've heard there's about 100 hours in this game, which is...
See, then again, it's like, yeah, that's cool, but...
Would you play it for that?
Do I personally have enough time to stick another 100 hours into another game when I've got loads of shit to play as it is at the moment? I mean, perfect if, considering I suppose you've got 100 hours to play that game, because you've probably got about 3 or 4 months till anything else is worth buying is actually out on the system anyway. You've probably got, between that and I'd say Splatoon 2 is like absolutely barren of anything I'd be interested in.
Yeah, I mean, there's ARMS which come out, which, to be honest, it looks a little bit like a Punch-Out sort of style game.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. I'd like it, but I'm going to hold... I mean, I'm buying a Switch on launch. I'm definitely getting one. One, because personally, I like my Nintendo products, and we will use it in our household. I'm going to be a little bit careful on the games because, to be honest with you, I can't really afford much else at the moment anyway. And I'm going to see if I can get some a little bit cheaper. I mean, as you say, Webby, stuff doesn't drop on the Switch. Well, it doesn't on the Wii U. So there is always the chance you could buy something on the Switch, play it for a month, and then flog it on and get your money back. That's the only good thing. Whereas if you buy anything on the PlayStation or Xbox, it's worthless in about 3 weeks' time.
It drops about a tenner every few days, doesn't it?
Yeah, but other games coming out, there isn't much on it. I mean, I might pick up 1-2 Switch for just to get the rest of the fanfare. I mean, my other half, she was quite interested in it as well. And also, I think these are going to be out of stock for a while because Nintendo are useless at actually getting anything out and actually having lots of stock laying around. I mean, you still can't get the mini NES, and that's only a £50 console. That is, So I'm going to pick one up. I'm going to play Zelda on it, which is what I want to play anyway. I've bought a Pro controller as well. So
how much are they charging for those here? Because I know in the States they're like $70.
£60. So it's cost me a few quid. This is, but then as I say, I paid out a few quid when I bought the Xbox One and the PS4. I mean, I'm not buying any more consoles this year. I won't be buying the Scorpio or whatever Sony do. I'm quite happy with the other consoles.
I don't think Sony will bring anything else out, and we still don't really know anything about what the Scorpio is or what it's going to do yet. I mean, with Microsoft at the moment, I fucking wouldn't even dread to guess at what they're trying to
do. Well, it's the price, isn't it? I think that's the one thing for Microsoft. Are they going to come out and bring something out that's going to be like 350 quid and take a loss on it, but to grab an audience, they might do. They've done stuff like this before in the past. Who knows? But there's things that are not great on the Switch. I mean, as I say, to do with the online, it's going to be a paid online. I'm not a fan of this whole you keep it for a month and then you lose it, which I think is just a bit of an odd idea.
It gives, I suppose, the free games for that time period an online presence amongst the gamers for that time, but which is, I suppose, it's all right. But is it just going to be literally rehashes of older games that most of us have already played before anyway?
Mm,
And it's like, hold on, I've got my, like, for obviously people like us, it's like, oh, I've got like a PS4 set here or an Xbox One or a PC or whatever with all the latest shit that you're trying to play through. Do you really want to load up a console and play Punch Out online?
no, but I don't know. I mean, there'll be more stuff coming out in the winter. I mean, at the moment they've thrown out the console. There's bits and bobs that will appear more and more, but we're just, as I say, we just have to hold out and see what happens. I mean, you had a pre-order and you said you were going to cancel it. Are you still going to cancel it?
I haven't cancelled it yet because I might obviously be a bit of an arsehole and try and sell it on and make a bit of a profit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think there's loads of people doing that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just the fact the only thing I was interested in is Zelda, and I've got issues with the audio functionality on that game because they've decided to voice act it now, and the Japanese voice is just way better.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm going to wait and see if we hear any more info on that, or if they're going to patch it and sort that out. If not, then I'll just probably pick one up later down the line. But I was literally only going to be getting it with Zelda.
Mm. No.
But Nintendo of America are absolutely fucking horrific when it comes to sort of like localization and giving people actual options in their games that their fans actually want.
Mm. No. I mean, it's good. It's region free for the first time ever. Nintendo.
Yes, but this is the thing. It's region free because it's running on. I mean, other consoles might have done this in the past, but the last console I owned that did this was the Neo Geo. Basically, if you have an English Neo Geo cartridge system back in the day and you bought a Japanese game, if you plugged it into obviously your system, it'll play in English because it's an English system. I believe the Switch is the same thing, where it's like if I was to buy a Japanese copy of Zelda and plug it into my English system, it will still be in English.
Right.
So it's like, yeah. So, but I think you can obviously fondle system settings on the actual system itself and turn all the system language to Japanese, and then it will play it in Japanese. But it just seems like a really archaic and fucked up way of doing things because obviously you don't want to play everything in Japanese.
You won't understand it for starters.
Well, yeah, that as well. Sometimes you can change system settings or someone's done it back in the day, like mucking around with certain computers and that, and they'll change the settings, language settings, and you can't work out what it is to get back into a change them back. I don't know, it just seems a bit weird. Like, I'm very interested in it. The portable aspect of it's really cool. Like, some of the games I'm definitely interested in, like Mario is the first Mario I've actually been interested in since 64.
Yeah, that's quite good actually. That the trailer they showed.
And there again, it's the fact that it's solid, it's vibrant, it's colourful. It's just Nintendo sort of a thing. So I can see it doing really well in Japan because it suits their market perfectly. It's they're into their mobile gaming and going out and moving around, and then they can just go home, stick it in their docking station under the telly, and carry on. But I think for the West, it's a whole different kettle of fish. We just want sort of like the Western people generally want different games. They don't want to sit there waiting like 3 or 4 months in between sort of like games that they actually want. So we'll have to wait and see. I know Dan's picking one up, isn't he?
Yo.
So someone in the chat's saying something not right with the chat.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I'm still picking one up. I'm optimistic. I mean, to be honest, if we've got it, it's done. It's in our household. I know people say they might drop the price. They might, but I can't see them dropping it much. To be honest, I mean, Wii U's are still crazy. Well, I mean, I know you can't buy them anymore, but they haven't dropped the price on them at all, really.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing that's weird. You think back to, in fact, most of Nintendo's consoles for at least the last decade, if not more, The 64, I don't think that was huge, was it? It did well, but it didn't do exceedingly well. Similar thing with the GameCube. Obviously, the Wii did really well.
Yeah.
And then the Wii U, not so much. And then like this is looking as though I think it's going to do better than the Wii U, but
Yeah, I think it will. It
yeah,
won't
but
take much to
not
beat the Wii U.
yeah,
'Cause
but not by a great deal, I don't think. But that's just on the offset sort of a thing. But yeah, they've made a majority of their ways is like clever business decisions when it comes to things like licensing and doing mobile stuff like Pokemon Go, even though it was actually the Pokemon company that were making a majority of the money from that.
yeah,
And obviously, yeah, the DS, 3DS, and things like that. And again, like that machine is like, if you play the Vita and then you stick on the 3DS, it's like, ugh, what the hell is this? Like when it comes to sort of like the graphics on it and stuff, but they've never really pushed it. I mean, I'm hoping for stuff like Monster Hunter and things on the Switch, and I imagine they sort of will do because Monster Hunter's mainly been a portable game, and as this is being like mainly sold as a portable, the Switch rather than an actual console, I believe it'll probably end up getting something like that.
see, I've seen the other side of the story. I haven't seen the portable aspects. I've seen it more as a home console than a portable. So, but who knows? I mean, if you get a Pokemon on this, you get a proper full size Pokemon game on the Nintendo. That'll do it a lot because people love Pokemon. But
It'll
who
do
knows?
well, but then again, it's like Pokemon Go. The reason for that, I think that was so absolutely massive. It's like you got a mobile phone, off you go.
Yeah, but
Everyone's got a mobile
Sun
phone.
and Moon have sold a hell of a lot.
Oh yeah, true, yeah. But then again, there's a lot of like people with DSs and 3DSs and all those stuff out there. And as we found out the other week when Peeves was trying to get one for one of his kids, they're still pretty expensive to buy.
That and they don't even come with a fucking charger, the tight bastards.
At least the Switch comes with an actual power pack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't come with the only thing it is missing though, which I found out today, was the your Joy-Cons on the sides, which basically if you put it in the cradle, say like you're at home and you want to play at home, you put it in the cradle itself. Well, you're gonna have to take the Joy-Cons out the side of it, aren't you, to play? Because otherwise, what are you going to use unless you get a Pro Controller? The problem is those Joy-Cons, when you take them out, they're not charging, and you can then put them into this other thing that looks like a little dog.
Oh yeah, the dog's face. Yeah,
that's right, but that's not a charger.
No,
that's just a normal piece of plastic that will hold the Joy-Cons in. If you want to buy one of those units that looks exactly the same as that but has a USB on the top of it, then that costs you 30 quid. So there's a lot of things that are a little bit. It's like the Joy-Con controllers. If you want an extra pair, because Johnny's lost it. He's taken it to his mate's house and his mate stuck it on eBay and sold it. They're 79 pound. I think they are for a pair of them.
Yeah,
or you can buy one for 50 quid.
God, and I remember like going, "You what, mate?" When like people were like said, "Oh, £60 for another PS4 controller," you know what I mean, from Game or something. It's like you're having a laugh.
So I'm looking forward to the summer, going to the car boot, and the little the mother turns up with all her Wii games, and by accident she's put the Joy-Con controllers in there with it. How much do you want for this, love? Oh, £1? Yeah, okay, I'll have that. Because that's what happens with that Xbox One controller. I'm sure that she didn't mean to sell that, because I got that for 2 quid.
Oh no, probably definitely not.
No, well, I didn't buy it. My daughter saw it. I didn't buy it. She saw it. Yeah, that was one of those Call of Duty Advanced Warfare controllers, wasn't it? Which we still use now. Hogarth, you can buy it off me for 50 quid. That's it. I think I'm done on the Switch. I mean, I'll give you more on it because I'm buying one anyway. So it's
not that far away, is it?
Yeah.
It's
I know.
5 weeks.
I put the day off as well. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Never done that before. So be sitting there doing that whole DPD. What's he doing there? He stopped again for his lunch.
Yeah. Oh, my last on his route, bastard.
Yeah,
Right. You'll be sitting there and he won't deliver to you till gone 6 p.m.
it is going to be weird though when you. I can just see it. You go out, as I said, out and about, working and the rest of it, and you walk past some house and there's two blokes standing there rubbing up and down because they're doing the cow thing. You think, what the hell? So there we go.
Crazy.
Mm.
Absolutely crazy. Right, should we actually talk about some good games then?
Oh well.
Alright, well I'm going to get into what I've been playing this week. I've been playing quite a few games. My main game this week I want to talk about, and I know that none of you guys have actually played it, is Armour 3.
Oh, that's well old.
I know. But you still need a really good PC to run it. So basically, I've been playing it a lot. I've made some new friends on there, and the cool thing about this is, right, the map is absolutely massive. And basically, the game modes, I've been doing the co-op game modes, and you can have like 80 or 90 people plus all doing a co-op mission on this game, and it's just so fun. Like the tactics, and you're like getting in a chopper, and you have to do like a 10-minute chopper ride just to get somewhere, and then you're like creeping around, and you're all like, right, we're gonna go here, flank these dudes, blah blah blah, and it's like proper simulation of an army. I've been in the army, and it's just fucking awesome. And I'd love to see something like this on consoles. I really, really would. And even now, the graphics on it are absolutely stunning. You can see why you need a beast of a PC to run it, because even with like the latest graphics card and CPU, it still struggles. But yeah, it's just so much fun, and I just love the fact that you can just hop online. You get into the chat. You've got different chat channels for for the vehicle chat and squad leader chat and all sorts of other things, and it's just so much fun. And I'd love to see some more people in the community play this, because if we got some community together from the Mojo, I just think we'd have a right laugh on it. It's just so good.
It's quite a learning curve, though, isn't there? I mean, I know Headcase used to play it, and he did say there was quite a learning curve. I mean, I've watched quite a bit of it, that and the DayZ, which was basically it's the same game, isn't it? But they've taken out all the army aspects and put zombies in it.
Yeah.
And as you say, yeah, I've looked at the map. I mean, I used to watch one of the videos. I can't remember who the guy was now. And yeah, it looks awesome. I must admit, I'm wondering why this has not come out on consoles. I mean, they always said they were going to release, even not Armour 3, but DayZ on the consoles, but they haven't.
Yeah, I don't know if the consoles could handle this game. I just think there's just so much going on the screen. Yeah, it's very CPU intensive. But I'm sure they could knock it down for consoles. I mean, there is a lot of keyboard. There's a lot of buttons on the keyboard that you need to press for different things, but I'm pretty sure that they could get that down onto a controller menu somehow. I don't think it would be too difficult to do. But the thing with this game is it heavily relies on community mods as well. So you'll find a lot of servers where people. So a big thing on this is people make their own missions on the map, and then so you have to download a little file for their mission, and you go in and all do their missions. So that's a big aspect of Armour 3, and it's and that's why it's still so popular. I think it's been out for 2 or 3 years now, and it's still one of the most popular games on Steam. It's just, I downloaded this when I got my laptop, and my laptop struggled to run it, so I didn't really play it that much on my laptop. But now, obviously, I've got my PC up and running. Like, I'm really getting into this now. It's just so much fun, and what I'm finding though, as well, is people are generally pretty helpful as well. If you go into a server and say, "Look, guys, I'm pretty new, just bear with me," and people usually give you tips and stuff, and aren't really harsh on you if you die and stuff. So it's pretty cool. As I say, I'm just amazed at how massive the map is. It's like there's 2 islands because they brought out an update, and it's literally, in real world terms, miles and miles and miles. And it's all scaled down to exactly what it is in real life. So if you're 20 miles, if you've got to go 20 miles away, it's going to be like a 5-minute chopper ride or whatever. It'll take you ages in the car. I wouldn't even run it because you'll be there for fucking days. So yeah, I just like that because it's like that grand scale and epicness. You feel like you're part of something and you're accomplishing something. It's just really fun, and I just like how you can play another first person mode or third person. And it's just got all those tactics rolling on the floor. If you're a sniper, one of the guys should be a spotter to spot for you and stuff like that. You know, it's just really cool. You've got your classes like your medics and your engineers. You can't fly a chopper unless you're an actual pilot.
I think that
You
you're
know,
basically nailing down why it's not on console anyway. The fact that it's exceedingly simmy and like
yeah.
really simmy games don't really translate well to console.
Well, we saw that with Operation Flashpoint, didn't we?
Well, it's a shame
Well,
because Operation
the
Flashpoint
first
was
one was
good.
horrific. The second one was way better. They
Oh yeah.
streamlined it a lot better, didn't they? But the first one was like overly complicated, and
But even then, the second one didn't sell well, did it?
No,
Even though
it's a pity because the second one was awesome.
yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
I'm afraid.
so I mean that's one of the reasons why I'm enjoying my PC now is because I can play these games that you just can't find on consoles, and I would like to see some games like this come to console, but unfortunately, a majority of the console players are more into the Call of Duty style shooters. They want that quick fix. Where I am finding now that PC gamers seem to be the more patient type people that wouldn't want this kind of experience. So it's a good game, man. It's awesome. So I'll be playing a lot more of this, and I might do some streaming at some point as well. So
Yeah, it would be good to see you die a lot.
lols.
Because I heard there's a learning curve on this that's quite high.
Oh yeah, there is, but it's not as bad as you think. I don't die actually as much as what you think because I go in formation and do all my squad orders and
But you
just
don't run ahead like you normally do.
If you run ahead, you're dead, mate.
Oh, so you have learnt something then?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's fucking awesome. Anyway, shall I move on before I bore you
Yeah.
all to death?
That's all right. I'm sure a few people are quite interested.
Yeah. It's all right.
So sticking with the PC at the moment, I've been playing a few other games. One that I want to talk to you about actually, Stunty. I started playing some Rust this week.
Oh no. Penises for the win.
I'm sorry, but this game is absolutely shit. I just want to
No,
put it
it's
out there.
not.
I went
It's
into
not.
I went into a random server, right, and I've spawned. I'm this, I'm a little weakling dude, and I'm in this server, and there's loads of people there. They've got their huts up, and they're running around, and I'm like, going and chat. Hi guys, I'm new. Any tips or anything? And all I get is read some fucking guides, noob. And then they all just run around and start killing me. And I'm like, this game has a bit of a toxic community then. So I thought, oh well, I'll try another server, and got pretty much the same response. So I've actually deleted it off my hard drive because it is fucking toxic.
All right. Well, I'll be honest. You did well because normally, if you go up to someone's tent, they normally just shoot you in the head. That's what normally. I mean, I remember when I first started Rust, and I mean, Rust was very early beta days then. And it was. Yeah, you went into a world, and the trouble is then is the servers used to get reset quite a lot. So what happened is people didn't build much back then. And then you used to go up to someone, you used to get like you could see him over the other side of the map. You started running towards them, and then bang, you're dead. Thought, oh well, that lasted long, didn't it? And then and then eventually you get someone, you go up to someone else, and I'll be your friend. Yeah, okay, I'll be your friend, and then I'll wait until we get in the bushes, and I'm going to rape you. It's in like for all your stuff, and then kill you. But once you get past that, there was a game there, the building and stuff, and you could go out venturing at night, a bit like Armour really to a certain degree, but the DayZ style of it, as in going out, attacking the zombies to get stuff off them, going into certain camps and sneaking in there and nicking stuff and stuff like that, and coming back out. But I think it's the problem is with Rust now is it's been out quite a while, so there's most probably a hardcore group on there that will take no prisoners. I mean, as I said, back when I played it, everyone was still quite new at the game, and as I said, they reset the servers. I mean, I had one, I think it was 30, 40 days. I think I had on one server, and I built my house up in the mountains. That was awesome. That was, and we were going down into the towns. I mean, we had one time where all these noobs, a bit like you, appeared. So all we done was just kept shooting them, and they kept dying, and they respawned. So we shoot them again. So we just kept. It was like noob day, And then one guy got really annoyed, sort of saying, "Why do you keep shooting me for?" And the rest of it said, "Well, because we like it." So, and I think that's what you've had.
Yeah, bastards. Anyway, so that's Rust. I'm never going to play it again. I just thought you would chuckle at that story.
Oh yes.
Also, so I've been getting into Civilization. So I haven't got Civ 6 because I'm not paying 50 quid for a PC game, no matter how good it is. So I've been playing Civ 5 because I've had it for a couple of years, and I think I got it in a Steam sale for about a fiver. Back then, and it's really cool. It's quite a relaxing game to play, actually. I don't know if you guys have actually played it. Basically, you start off as a civilization, and you can. So I'm starting off as the Roman Empire, and you have a
one
map.
on the Xbox.
I don't know. There's nothing like this on Xbox, that's for sure.
There was a Civ something.
Yeah, it was a Civilization.
I think it was Civilization Revolution, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Okay. I stand corrected. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying it. I know it's quite old now, but I think it's still really cheap on Steam now. If anyone wants to pick it up, or Civ 6 is out if you've got the cash. Yeah, so you start off and you build. So I've started off as Roman Empire, and you start off with just some settlers, and you start off your city, and you send people out scouting the world, and you can make enemies or friends with the other city-states, and build farms, and you go off into like the Stone Age, Bronze Age, whatever, and you get up to like modern times and shit, and it's just quite interesting just seeing how the politics and all that works as well. I like just going to war with everyone because it's quite funny. But yeah, it's a nice relaxing game. So I just wanted to throw it out there. It's cool. So that's my review. It's cool. Very.
You're getting as bad as me.
Yeah. I do want to put something out though. I've been Steam sharing with Sly. Steam sharing actually is pretty shit. So if someone is actually online on their Steam account playing a game, you can't play any of the games on their account at all, which is pretty pointless.
Well, that's a waste of time with sliding because he's always going to be on.
Oh, I know. So
you're screwed on that one, aren't you?
But anyway, I thought, well, he's got XCOM 2 on his thing, so I thought I'll give that a go since he's in bed. Because everyone raves about XCOM 2. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I played it for about half an hour, and I don't get why people enjoy this game. It's pretty fucking boring.
So XCOM?
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first
Have you
one.
played
It's
XCOM?
really tactical.
So, I don't know if it's just me, but you've got these dudes and you've got to run up to a wall, hide behind a wall, shoot some dudes, try and flank them. That's about it, yeah? Yeah? That's pretty much the game?
Much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, not my cup of tea, sorry.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed the first one. I did hear the second one's quite hard.
Okay.
Did you play the first one?
Nah, I've got it, but I never actually played it, so... I mean, that's just me. I don't know, it's quite a popular game, but it's not a game that I will actually go back to. But if you are interested, if you will sign up for Humble Bundle monthly for $12 for next month, you get a copy of XCOM 2. Which isn't bad because that's what 10 quid? So, and XCOM 2 is still like 30 quid on Steam, so quite a good bargain. Right. What else have I played? Played a couple more games on the PC before I move on to Sexy Box. Counter-Strike Go. I think I talked about this last week.
Isn't this the one where people gamble with all the skins?
Yeah, so it's quite funny because I was actually a big Counter-Strike player, like in the early 2000s, when the first one came out. And I enjoyed it back then, but this is kind of like they completely fucked with it. So you got all the old maps. The graphics are still pretty awful, but it's the second most played game on Steam. And basically it's 12 quid to buy the game, but then it's like you're paying for a free to play game because everything in there in your face is buy this skin, buy this, buy that, and I'm like, mate, I just want to fucking shoot people in the face. But I do like the gameplay mechanics of Counter-Strike because everyone starts off on an even playing field whenever you start the game, and then as you play you earn money, and then you can buy better guns and unlocks and stuff, and I quite like that instead of the Call of Duty model where the more hours you put into the game, the better stuff you've got. So it's just a nice different way of playing a first-person shooter. I'm pretty shit at it though, even though I did get I did get a triple kill yesterday, which is unheard of because everyone plays this game so much that they're just uber hardcore, so I was quite shocked. But usually I'm lucky to get one kill, so... But yeah, still fun. So I just want to throw that out there. A new game I played with Sly today. It's a little game on Steam called Golf with Friends. It's really cool. It's like... if you like, any machine will run this game. It really will. Like even your laptop stunty.
All
So basically, you know, like mini golf.
right.
It's mini golf, but you can set up. It's basically you just play it online with your friends. So you set up a little game and you go through like mini golf with friends. It's really fun. I don't know what else to say about it apart from it's pretty fun. I'm gonna just put a video up for people on the Twitch stream. But yeah, it's it's basically it's £4 on Steam, and there's 3 levels on there. There's like a grassy level, there's a haunted house, which we played them to, and I'm not sure what the other level is. But it's a full 18 holes, and it's pretty fun. It really, really is. Like you wouldn't think, it looks quite basic, but you know when there's a few of you online and you're having a laugh and taking the piss out of each other for missing like really easy shots, etc. It's pretty cool. So it's definitely one to check out, and I think it would translate really well onto consoles as well. So I really do think if you've got Steam. You should check this out. It's really, really fun. Yeah, that's my review of Golf with Friends. And last couple of games I've been playing on the PC. Doom, still playing Doom. It's a great first-person shooter. I'm really enjoying it. I don't think the demo did it justice because when I played the demo originally on the Xbox, I didn't actually enjoy that, but now I've been playing the full game. It's really, really fun, and I can see why a lot of people had it on the Game of the Year lists. It's pretty cool. And I also picked up Battlefield Bad Company 2, playing a little bit of that. Yeah, I'm going old
Is the
school.
online servers on?
Yeah, played a bit of it on Xbox One this morning, mate. Yeah.
I thought they shut them off.
No, I was playing it this morning.
I'd have to find my copy of that because that's the best one of them all, to be honest.
Oh, it's fantastic. Even though you always have rose-tinted glasses when it comes to these old games because it hasn't aged very well.
No, it wasn't brilliant in the first place. I remember the buildings collapsed, and I always thought that, I mean, it was always the same ones that used to down, but it was at the time it was awesome. Like,
yeah. Definitely, and the Vietnam expansion was really, really, really good. So yeah, it's such a fucking good game. So yeah, it's backwards compatible on Xbox One. So make sure you check it out if you've got it. It's still pretty busy online. So yeah, well, I don't know what else to say on that. I also, because I played a bit of that, I went on to Battlefield 4 today as well, just for half an hour this morning, and that is still fucking fun, man. It really, really is. Flying your chopper around, flying your planes,
getting
into
chopper around, eh?
Yeah. It's just fun, man. You know, I mean, I know I love Battlefield 1, but I still think that Battlefield 4 is still kind of my highlight of the Battlefield series. Just probably the most played one. Started off playing that on the Xbox 360, played years of it on the Xbox One as well. It's just fucking awesome. It really, really is. And the last game I've been playing, because the other one I'll let Switch talk about, because I do want to talk about that with him a bit later. Deus Ex. Really enjoying it. Really, really great game. I do think that if I'd played this before the Game of the Year show, this might have been in my top five, maybe. That's how much I'm enjoying it. I'm just liking the world, the story, the way you can, you know, I like a game like this. It's a first-person shooter, but you don't actually have to kill anybody. And I've gone through the game so far without killing one person, and getting out of tough situations by talking my way out of it. I've got that augment where you can read people's facial expressions and kind of gauge kind of what to say, and I think it just brings a really interesting dynamic to the game, and I just really enjoy that aspect. And you get some really tough choices throughout the game as well. I don't know if you guys have played it, but I've gotten past the part where I have a choice to either do one mission or the other, and you get some pretty hefty repercussions if you don't do one of the missions or the other. And it's just quite cool dynamic, I think, and I love the sneaking around and just kind of the hidden ways you can do things. It's a fantastic game, man, and I think it's pretty cheap now as well. So
Can you just go in and just shoot everything?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can.
Just wondering.
But I do everything sneaky.
I do, but I'm like one of those big elephants. You know,
Yeah, I
I'll
know
walk
what
into a
you're
room and fall over, and the next thing you know, I've got to destroy everyone. And certain games you could do it, and certain games you couldn't. It's like Hitman. I remember playing that. I sort of went in and sort of like, you stand on the tree branch, and everyone looks round, and you have to run away and hide in the corner for sort of 5 minutes. Same in Metal Gear actually, but so long as you can, you can go in and shoot everyone. Yeah, I might have to have a look at some point.
Yeah, it's just sorry, I'm eating my dinner as well at the same time. Sorry.
It's all right.
I just like that mechanic, and I just really want the achievement as well for not killing anyone throughout the whole game. So yeah, just putting that out there. And I think I might have played one more game. Oh no, also we're going to talk about that with Switch because I think he's only played one game this week. Resident Evil 7 is out tomorrow. I know Switch got that today, but he's not played it. So next week expect some spoilerific stuff. Well, not spoilerific, a good in-depth review of Resident Evil 7. I do want a review of you using it with the VR though, because that.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be playing for it with that.
That'll be hilarious. You shit in your pants. Lols. That's all I've played this week. Well, I might as well go into it. I've been playing a shitload this week of Final Fantasy 14, and Switch as well. And I just do want to talk about the new patch that's just come out because it's really, really, really good. And I think for an MMO, and I know World of Warcraft brings out a lot of stuff as well, but I think, for your monthly fee, we're getting a fucking shit ton of content in Final Fantasy 14 at the moment. It just seems to be like new content all the time. They've added a couple of new. Well, they've added quite a bit of new story content. They've added quite a lot of new side quests, and I really enjoyed the Hildebrand side quest. I was glad to see that, and some new raids as well. So did one of them today with some of the free company. We've been getting onto Discord, and Switch made a Discord channel for our free company on Final Fantasy 14, which has been really, really good for people chatting and hooking up and for getting to do stuff at the same time. And these new the new dungeons and the new raid are just fantastic, and it's just really nice to see everybody online again, just having a lot of fun. Don't know about you, Switch.
Yeah, I've been having a good old laugh on it.
Away.
Well,
I think
I'm really bad. I'm in Palace of the Dead at the moment. I do apologise. But basically, yeah, I've been running like loads of content as an FC and everything for the first time in ages. Because obviously, with new patches, a lot of people sort of like come back to the game and such. So there's like been all the new dungeons, and like you said, the raid, and it's just sort of like reinvigorated a lot of people because you do go sort of like months in between some of these like updates and patches at times, and like sometimes people who are like super on top of the ball, like do all the end game stuff, they'll have pretty much done everything in between. But yeah, the story's great. There's still a few things I've still yet to try in it, to be honest. like the Hildebrand. I know you've run that now and whatnot.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So if anybody hasn't got into it yet, get onto it. I know that a lot of the community are playing a lot of Elite Dangerous on the Xbox at the moment as well. That actually seems to be the most active channel on our Mojo Discord. So I've actually had to mute the channel because my phone was just pinging non-stop. It was unbelievable. But I do
It
check.
seems really popular on Twitter as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's nice to see a game getting everyone's imagination going and everyone's having a good time on that on the Xbox. The problem for me is I can, Elite Dangerous does seem to be one of those games that's a complete time suck, and with an MMO on the go and various other games as well, it's just time has, well, there isn't enough time for it, to be quite honest. It does look an interesting game and one game that I would love to play, but as I say, I would have to sacrifice another game that I'm not willing to do. So, yeah. Anyway, Stunty,
Yes.
what have you played?
It's Switch next,
Oh, go on
anyway,
Switch.
isn't it?
Sorry.
Well,
Oh,
no, you might as well go for next stunty anyway, to be honest, because like I say, I'm being a bit of a git at the moment.
All right.
he's in the middle of a dungeon, mate, because he can't concentrate on a podcast.
Not much really. I mean, I'm still doing this year of living gamelessly. Finished Batman Arkham Asylum,
Nice.
so I actually started to finish games, which is it's good. I like it. Wow, what a game! I should have played this when it came out. I mean, I'm a big Batman fan anyway, but it's awesome. I mean, the Scarecrow bits were quite cool. The way they mixed it up with that. Killer Croc as well in the sort of down below in the actual underground bit was cool. Yeah, really good game. I mean, to be honest, when did Batman Arkham Asylum come out? It must be what 2008, something like that.
It's pretty
Probably,
old
isn't
Something like
now.
that, yeah.
Well, I don't know how much they've updated it for the PS4, Xbox One versions because this is like a HD version, isn't it? But I tell you what,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have an issue. You get into this, and you wouldn't think it is like nearly 8 years old. You know, it is just a really, really good game. So much better than the last one I played, which was Arkham Knight, I think it was.
Yeah.
Even though there is bits in this that are quite linear, it just kept me enthralled. As in there was something about it that wanted me to keep playing it.
It was, for me, obviously, considering both Arkham City and Arkham Knight, I haven't really played too much of either of them, but I presume they're pretty much open world games. Arkham Asylum, to me, is basically like a Metroidvania. Where you're funneled along, you pick up upgrades, which then give you access to areas you couldn't access before in certain buildings and places.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's bits you go into the game as you get further into the game, you get more special tools that you can use, so then you can go back on stuff that you've done. I mean, to be honest, the version you get anyways, the Game of the Year version, so there's loads of extra bits and stuff for the game. I mean, to be honest, if I wasn't doing the year of living gamelessly, I most probably would have gone back and done some of these extra bits. But to be honest with you, I need to get cracking with other games. But for what you get for the price, I mean, I think it's about £25 for 2 games.
So, Paul, if
And
you're doing this year of living gamelessly, you shouldn't be buying a Nintendo Switch then, should you?
no, I am allowed to buy games, but I have a budget.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I need to sit down with Bongo about this, about my budget. So, I mean, you don't have to have a budget. You could just go out and buy everything else anyway if you wanted to. But no, I'm sticking to a certain budget. My original budget was going to be £100, but I destroyed that because I bought the special edition of Zelda, and that's £80. So I've really.
What did you get in it? Did you get an
You get-
amiibo or something?
No, you get a statue. No, trouble is with me, I've got everything Zelda here that's special edition. And so, I mean, I've got all the amiibos. There's 4 amiibos that came out a little while back. The Zelda 30-year anniversary amiibos. I've got them. I can see them behind me. They're all set up behind. There's one of Toon Link, The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Time, and Wind Waker. So I'm gonna have to. I had to buy it because I'd regret it if I didn't. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit down with Bongo and work out what my budget's going to be for what I buy this year. I mean, I am going to be. I'm going to be very careful. I want to finish my pile of shame that I've got, or a lot of it. That's the main thing. So
Fair enough. It's a good thing to do. It's something that I personally wish I had the willpower to do. But shinies and all that, it's quite difficult. So.
Well, yeah, it is because I mean Resident Evil 7. I'd love to play, but then I think, well, okay, I would like to play Resident Evil 7, but I'd like to play Resident Evil 4, which I've never played properly all the way through. So I'm going to do that. So
you're in for a treat there, mate. Resident Evil 4 is like the best in the series, I think. Still, I haven't played 7, but I still don't think it will beat 4 for what it did for the genre and the third-person action.
I mean, it took me a while to get into it. I mean, I've got the PS4 version of Resident Evil 4, so I don't know, because they've changed the controls, because I remember playing this on... What did I play Resident Evil 4 on? I think I played it on the Wii, or was it GameCube?
I think they got...
GameCube,
yeah, they got rid of the tank controls.
Yeah, that's right.
The tank controls were only in the originals, the original ones, before it went third person.
The thing that I don't like about... I mean, I always say, I'd love to go back and play that old game, but then... I can be a bit of a graphic snob sometimes, so I load it up
these days.
And
it got worse.
And I look at it and I think I can't fucking play it because it just looks too shit.
You might change as you get older, so you're not that old yet.
I don't know, because I did download some emulators today, and I had a little go on Sonic and stuff, and they said, 16-bit games still look good now because of that.
It's pixels, pixel art and that.
Yeah, but like games from like the PS1 and PS2 era, now most of them just, oh man, they just look awful.
Yeah, the old early polygons and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, get away with certain stuff like Crash Bandicoot. You can get away with, can't you? And Spyro, you can get away with them on the PS1. I mean, stuff like Resident Evil 1. I mean, I played that. I think it was last year. I had a quick go of it, and Jesus Christ, that was hard work to play that. I mean, tank controls were always a bitch anyway to play.
Yeah, but I did quite a good job with the remaster on the Xbox One and PS4 for the original Resident Evil. It looks quite nice actually, because I played quite a bit of that. I never finished it on the Xbox One, but I did finish it back in the PS1 days. It was one of my favourite games on the PS1. But yeah, I would like to finish that, and what I would like to see though is a remaster of Resident Evil 2 though, because I still think that's
that's the best, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's actually coming. That is actually coming. I think they said a while ago that they were going to be doing that.
Nice.
That's my favourite of the lot, too.
The thing is, though, you download these games. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I download these games, these old remaster games. I think, I'm gonna fucking play that. I probably play it for about 20 minutes and never pick it up again. And I think that was a waste of money.
Yeah, speaking of like that, I need to go back and finish literally the last 2 levels of BioShock.
Wow.
Well, see, that's on my list again. See, same scenario. I mean, I played BioShock 2. I've never played, only the multiplayer. Which
what?
Is just... Yeah,
you're in for a treat there because it's not as shit as people made it out to be honest.
BioShock 2
it was just good. It was just the fact that you were revisiting areas in a world you've already seen before, so it took a lot of the shine off of it.
And then
that was all it was.
And then BioShock 1 I started playing it, and then, as I say, something new and shiny came out, and I moved along. But now it's on my list. I'm going to go back. But the thing is with BioShock 1 is I've been down this path before. I played some of it on the Xbox 360 and never finished the bloody thing.
BioShock 1 was great. I mean, at the time when it came out, I still remember that opening sequence where you're in the water and there's that big lighthouse. And that feeling when that game came out was like, wow, this is like... never seen anything like this before. And then it was just so magical and mystical. You went under the sea and it was this whole world under the sea. It was just... absolutely brilliant. And the BioShock series is just great. Like BioShock 2 was great. And the third Bioshock Infinite, was absolutely amazing. I've got a statue of the bird upstairs. That's how much I love the game. Fucking spent 120 quid on it.
Oh, the Songbird statue.
Yeah, the songbird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never actually picked up the remaster though, because I played those games to death back in the day. But one day I'll pick up the remasters if I see a cheap copy somewhere and play
It
them again.
holds its price, that does. I've noticed that. I went into actually I was quite surprised because I bought that for 30 quid when it first came out in Tesco's, and I've noticed it's actually now about £35.
Wow.
It's actually gone up. Yeah. So is that because they didn't release many of it? I don't know. No idea on that. I don't know about the Xbox version, I must admit. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to keep going. As I finished Batman, really enjoyed that. I mean, if you've not played Batman, you want something a little bit different, then I would say give it a go because I think you'll be really surprised. And as I say, graphically wise, I don't think it looks that old. You know, there's a
it
few
looks
little
good,
bits.
man. It looks good, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few little bits that I looked at and thought, yeah, there's a couple of bits that are not brilliant. Some of the lip syncs a little bit out on certain bits, but as I say, I'm not a graphics snob like you. So, I mean, as I say, I've got all my retro stuff anyway. But yeah, so that's done. I'm also playing, and I would have thought I would have finished this, but for some reason I got sidetracked. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is the latest one.
Oh yeah.
This was I got this cheap in Tesco's because they were selling it for 20 quid, I think it was, because they dropped the price on it, haven't they? I'm actually really surprised. I'm really enjoying this. It's quite an interesting story. I mean, it's all in science fiction era, and it's a cool game. I mean, you played this, Webby, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Call of Duty, the last one, Infinite Warfare.
Oh no, not Infinite Warfare. No, I've not played that one. Sorry, that's the most recent one, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, you not played that one?
No.
Right, okay.
I've not played it because I do not want to buy it. Simple as
You
that.
can pick it up now for like 20 quid.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
quite surprised. It's like it, considering it's Call of Duty, the fact that it's sort of dropped price like that, I find absolutely fascinating because like Call of Duty's always hold their prices for ages.
Well, I know that Peebs has been enjoying it recently as well, but I do enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns, but I just do not want to drop any money at all on a Call of Duty game anymore because a 6-hour campaign and it'll be chucked away. So if I was still with Boomerang, I would probably have rented it, but I refuse to rent games now because obviously you just feel like you have to do that rush. So.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't use Boomerang anyway. They use your credit card for other people.
Oh, that's it.
So
So.
they never did
Well,
give
is
us
that
apologies on
fact
that.
or?
Yeah, mine got done for £2,000.
Yeah, I got done
with
Boomerang. Yeah, I had to change my card, and it was the only people. I never used that card for anyone. It was the only person I used it for was Boomerang, so I knew it was them.
Do we have anyone else in the UK like Redbox or anyone like that?
No, there's no one. So, I'm quite happy just plodding along with, if I want to pick up in a year, it'll probably be a £5. So.
But no, as I was saying, I was quite surprised. I mean, there's some bits in space where you're flying around in space in, a spaceship and the rest of it shooting things, and that's quite good actually. I quite enjoyed that bit. They've sort of made like a home hub now as well on this one, which is slightly different from your normal Call of Duties where you normally just go through a campaign, that's it. But they actually now you go onto this space station and it's like a home hub, and you sort of like you can do side missions instead of the main mission now. So they sort of changed little bits of it. It's whether this is the way they're going, this route they're going down. But it didn't feel like the normal Call of Duties that I've played in the past. But yeah, it's good. I mean, the shooting aspect they're always good. I don't mind the running up the walls. I mean, it's slightly different to Titanfall. Titanfall, you push your thumbstick in, don't you, to run up the walls and stay up the walls, unless you double tap I think it's the X button, which I actually think for me, I think it's easier because I always think it was a bit of a pain in the arse trying to double tap, hold the thumbstick in to go run up the walls and, boosting, as they say. But yeah, it's good. I should have that finished actually. I thought I would have finished it last night, but I got caught on a section and for some reason it was late and my eyes couldn't handle it anymore. So,
fair dues. I just want to say, because I'm just streaming a video of Bioshock Infinite remaster, and I'm actually surprised at how good it still looks. Like
That's
they've
the
done a
beginning of
Yeah,
the
even
game,
the
isn't it?
original
Yeah.
Bioshock, it looks like it obviously doesn't look like a next gen game, but it still looks a decent game.
It looks amazing, man. Looks amazing. I might
There
have
was
to, yeah.
there aren't the developers or some of the developers working on something new that's coming out very soon.
I've got no idea. I know, is it IG Levine?
Ken,
Or
let's
no,
not. Well,
Ken
Ken
Levine.
Levine.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ken
Where
Levine.
did I get IG from? Christ.
I don't know.
Uh,
Tripping
You
out.
stuck in the dungeon too long, isn't it?
but yeah, I know he was going to work on something that I think he had a bit more say in, like as an independent studio. So no idea. I haven't heard anything for a while.
Well, all I heard was that some of the other developers that were worked on the Bioshock games are working on something else that is coming out very soon, but I don't know what it is. I must admit, but I don't know what Ken Levine's doing. I must admit. This is wasn't this who did this 2K, wasn't it?
Yeah, Irrational Games, which are no more and published by 2K. Yeah.
So it'll be one of those games that in years to come will be a classic, I would say. The Bioshock series, I guarantee that. And eventually, at some point, it might start to creep up in value because it's such a classic game series. Other than that, that's about it, really. I mean, the only thing I did pick up, I did buy Mario Party 2 on the Wii U because my daughter wanted to play it. And I don't. They must have updated the graphics on it because I don't remember him looking as good as that on the N64. I thought they used to look shit.
Was it the Wii or the Wii U one you got?
It's the Wii U one I got.
All right, I was going to say yeah.
And to be honest, it was quite fun. We just played that. I like my Mario Party games because me and my daughter, they're like your old bishy bashy sort of style games. The quick, 1 minute game, and then you move on. You're on a board and you're going around the board trying to see if you can get to the end and get the stars.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing as well, where you was going on about before with the 1-2 switch. Now, if that was a WarioWare game instead, that would have my interest.
It does have some WarioWare elements to it because it's about 18 games on that 1-2 switch. I've been told.
Yeah.
But
some of the WarioWare stuff was just absolutely bizarre, wasn't it? Like you've got 2 seconds to stick your finger up this character's nose, and
I remember, I've got
utterly
WarioWare.
bizarre things. I always love the WarioWare games. They're fantastic if you're all having a piss up and you got mates round.
Yeah. It's like the whole Bishy Bashy games, wasn't it? They were the same where you were trying to make a burger in 2 seconds or something or other. And it was just like, how am I going to get this? I can't get that on, and the rest of it.
Fail, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it. That's me done. So that's all I can think. I haven't really played much because I've got into Cracker, which is an old TV series for some reason. I seem to be watching them again.
What, the old Robbie Coltrane?
Yeah, I picked them up on DVD. They're on eBay, and I ended up buying a bloody box set of them all. And I seem to have gone through one every couple of nights at the moment.
Wasn't that the one where Robert Carlyle plays like a hate
Yes.
bomber in it or something in one of the episodes?
Yeah, I've just watched that one. He was his dad died in. His dad was a war veteran, and he died from cancer. And he only had so many people at his funeral. And he sort of lost the plot because he was like, my dad was a war. He served for his country, and no one's come out for the funeral, and he just loses the plot and goes mad and starts bloody killing everyone, including coppers. But they're really good stories, really good stories for its time. Cracker. I mean, he was a drinking, smoking gambler. Sort of nearly lost his marriage, but it's old 90s drama. I mean, it's great watching it as well at the moment because you see the old sort of like pictures on the wall from like pop bands and Nirvana and stuff like that as well. And I look at it and think, Jesus, that's my era. I was growing up in all of that. The long hair that we all had back then.
No.
No idea what you're on about, mate.
Well, I had long hair back in the day, back in the 90s. I was like the Faith No More, Mike Patton haircut I had.
Oh, I'd love to have seen that.
I've got some pictures somewhere, but whether I put them out is another matter. But yeah, that's it. That's me done.
Cool. Switch.
Cool. Yeah, obviously not really a great deal to add. Well, me, obviously, 14 we've already talked about. Also, going to go a bit retro because I remembered another game I've been playing over the last few weeks. Diablo 3.
Ooh.
I saw you were playing that on the PS4 the other day. I thought, bloody
Yeah.
hell, what's happening?
Well, it was a game I picked up originally on the PS4 back in the day because I was like, well, I'm going to need some games to play on that. So I might as well get it on the PS4, obviously not realising that I'd end up on my PS4 a lot more back then. And I basically got, I think it was to partway through the second chapter, and then basically put it down. And then a friend of mine got a PS4, so I lent it to him. And he basically slowly over a period of about 6 months went all the way through it and brought it back. And I was like, oh, nice one. And I was like quite shocked that he really liked it because he's like really snobbish when it comes to games, sort of a thing. So I was like, yeah, I've been meaning to get back into this. And then the day I put it back on again was when they've started. I haven't actually done it yet, but they've basically added in now like this event, the something of Tristram, or the something, yeah, where it basically you can go back and play through sort of like Diablo 1 in Diablo 3. If you head back into, I think it's the first chapter and do a specific series of conditions, you can go back and sort of do a Diablo 1 themed dungeon in the old school sort of styled sort of graphical get up and everything, and sort of like new in-game achievements for it and pets and stuff like that. But it's just an amazing game, Diablo, isn't it, really? There's not really much I can say about it that pisses me off to a certain degree. I mean, the story does go a bit weird in places, which I didn't particularly like, but that's not really why you're playing it, to be honest. It's the loot, it's the legendaries, it's the gameplay, it's the sheer variety and the different sort of like looking armor sets you can pick up, the different ways you can customize your character. I mean, you could have like 4 people playing the exact same class, but yet everyone plays completely differently because of the way they've set their character out.
Yeah, and it's good. Like it's quite an old game now. I mean, how long ago did it come out? 4 years ago, something
Well,
like that.
it came out on
Yeah, 4 or
release, didn't
5,
it?
didn't it?
Yeah, it
Originally.
came out on release for the obviously the next gen. It had already been out a year before on the 360 and PS3, and then I think it had been out at least a year before on the PC. So you're talking
Wow.
it being like a 5 or 6 year old game at least.
And it's still on my pinned games on my Xbox because I love it so
Yeah,
much as well. It's just a
and
great
it's
game.
still got content coming out for it soon on the PC, hasn't it? They're adding in the brand new class, the Necromancer.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
okay.
it's just crazy. It's just such a fun game, and I like the way that they still support it as well. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the way
Is
as
that
well,
Bizarre?
like no, it's Blizzard.
Yeah, it's Blizzard,
Blizzard, sorry,
mate.
not
You
Yeah.
were
not
close,
Blizzard.
yeah, close.
Blizzard, not Blizzard.
Yeah,
Jesus
Blizzard.
Christ!
Showing your age now, Stunty.
I know. I've just lost it.
But yeah, just really well polished game. Obviously has like couch co-op and pretty much all the sort of like modes you could pretty much want for it. Fair enough, the game didn't launch particularly favourably on the PC, but once they sorted out the timeless error messages and the online auction house that sort of like ruined the game's economy, apparently, everything seems to be good. But yeah, it's just a good game. I still haven't finished it, obviously, because it's a lot longer than I thought it would be. It just seems to go on and on and on.
Well, if you want to do some carp on it at any point, oh, you've got it on PS4 though, haven't you?
Yeah,
Ah, we can't do carp. Sorry.
exactly. But yeah, I was going to say as well the fact that you can almost play this game endlessly with the whole sort of like thing that opens up when you finish the game with the Paragon levels and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
It's just crazy. Yeah, love it. And the only other game I've really played, well, I've played in and out of like Division, but I haven't been managed to get online on my Xbox for the last week or so, so I haven't been playing that as much as usual. And the only other thing I've had a brief go on, although not long, is Gravity Rush 2.
Oh yeah. What do you think? Same as the
I
other one?
really, it's a lot more polished, obviously. I can sort of kind of see why they decided not to bother putting it on the Vita, even though it would have been sweet to have had like 2 versions of it. But it just seems like really well done. Like the shell shading, the music, the story, the characters still speak with that weird sort of like fake language that's just made up gobbledygook sort of a thing. And it really reminded me like the musical style and the way it was done at the beginning of like something like Nino Kuni
Right.
to a certain degree. When I first started the game, it was just like push a button and I was straight in to the actual game, but it was like a cutscene. But then I was moving around in it, and then certain things happen, and then characters get revealed, and you end up sort of like on this home base thing that I'm running around in at the moment, sort of doing sort of like other missions and bits for. But like I say, I haven't played it a great deal. But from what I've heard, most people say it's really good. If you like Gravity Rush, you're going to really like it. But they said there's a lot of padding to it. Like as in that there's loads of collectibles to find and things like that, and side quests and things which some people say seem to sort of like extend the game out longer than it needs to be. And I just thought, well, that's because people piss and whinge if a game's only 10 hours long. Nowadays, it's like almost as though like basic sort of blatant instant straight away fucking The Order. Oh, you can do it in like 7 hours. It's like, yeah, and fucking still a good game, not a fault. But
Well,
yeah, because it wasn't like a 15, 20-hour game, people moaned.
It's nice, to be honest. I quite like it when you get something that's quite short because it mixes it up. So you can end up playing something like The Witcher that's like 70, 80 hours, and then you play something like The Order that's 6 hours, and it's just great. It's nice to do that because the last thing I want to do is, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. I played Batman, which was what, 12, I think it was 12 hours. I think it took me to do that, something like that. Could have been a little bit more. And then gone into Call of Duty, which is what, 6-hour game at the most. And then after that, I've got the DLC for Blood and Wine I want to get onto. So I want to try and get through. That's 18 hours straight away. So I'm trying to mix it up as well. Also in certain styles of game, I don't want to just play one shooter and then play another shooter and then another shooter. I want to try and mix it up as well. So,
Yeah, I mean the thing is obviously a lot of us, we all dip in and out of certain games, and there are certain titles that are easier to play than others. I mean, it's like Diablo. I didn't play that for 6 months. But then when I stick it on, it's like, what am I doing here again? Oh yeah, I'm just beating the shit out of everything. Job done. You know what I mean? You're straight back into it, basically. But you're certain RPGs and stuff, like things you put down, you've got to work out where you're going, where you were heading. You know what I mean? What quest you were doing, what the mechanics were again, like how the different systems work. I mean, I've also got like Yakuza 0 sitting here as well. And I know that's not exactly a game I can play for a bit, put down for ages, and just suddenly go back into and know what I'm doing and pick it up from where I left off.
I really want that. That's really caused me a problem because, as I say, I started this thing that I'm doing, this challenge, and it's like that is the one game I do really want to play because I remember when that.
It looks like I mean, I obviously haven't read super much into it, but from what I can sort of judge from it, I just picked it up because I like the Yakuza games. It's a prequel. It's set before obviously the original one takes place, so it's set in the 80s.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. So. It's getting quite good reviews from what I've been told. I
don't know any Yakuza game to have really got under an 8 out of 10 type of thing. Like they always tread that very thin line, sort of very Shenmue-y, but not quite type of thing.
Yeah,
I suppose 5. The one that got the leastest amount of reviews, or the least favourable reviews, was the Dead Souls one.
Do you know I've got that here sealed? I've never opened.
It's great. It's good fun. It is. You actually get bonuses, in-game bonuses for like if it detects save files from the previous Yakuza games, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically it. That's me done.
Cool. Just quickly then, because obviously we just mentioned the Division. I went back and played a little bit of that this week as well. I forgot to mention it. Switch, did you think that when the Division came out, you would still be playing it a year after it launched? Because it's nearly been out a year now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, in March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. The way they were touting it, I was expecting it to still be like definitely worth playing. sort of thing. I mean, we've got a new update coming out very soon, haven't we, with the Last Stand DLC, which I'm not too sure what it actually entails, but I have read they're making more changes to gear sets again, and they're going to be extending the Dark Zone, like further up, because they were like, we're extending the
Yeah.
map. And I was like, oh, cool, in the Dark Zone. Ugh.
I just
But
don't
it still
understand.
obviously gives us more
I
to
really
look
enjoy
at,
the
I suppose.
Division, and I have a good time when I still play it. But I just think they've done the expansions all wrong. I mean, what
Mm,
everyone wanted was just more sections of the city to explore and more kind of missions to do. But instead,
Yeah, I mean,
they don't
yeah,
bother with that. They had the survival mode, which is pretty cool, but that underground mode thing was pretty shit, to be honest.
it was decent enough, but it was like I saw, like I think Headcase, he's restarted the game again, hasn't he, on the Xbox One after having a bit of an issue on with his PS4 one.
Yeah,
mm,
And he's back to loving it again, like doing the story missions and everything. Because I will say, like the best part of that game was like the missions, like
yeah.
from first to leveling up, going around exploring. You're going in buildings, you're going in apartments. You feel like you're actually properly exploring. And only after that does it become like run through the cities, kill this boss mob, pick up his drops, run off, do the next one, run off, do the next one, sort of a thing. There's not as much variety there as there was at the beginning of the game,
No.
sort of thing. It's still enjoyable. My only sort of thing is now is one of the things I was reading up is with the changes they're going to be removing armor as a major stat off all your gear and replacing it
Oh,
with health, and it's like, why do you keep fucking around with stuff? And then it's something to do with, oh well, they're going to be changing the way your skills work, so they want people to go more into skill power. I don't want to fucking go into skill power.
I just
I'd
want to
much
shoot
rather
people
shoot
in the
things that,
face.
yeah, exactly. But they're
That's
basically
it.
sort of saying like now they're removing like overheal ability. The amount you heal is now going to be based on your skill power and all this other. And I just thought like, you sound like you're fondling shit. And as much as I'm going to give it a chance, as I blatantly will do, because I've got
Yeah,
like a nice up and down love hate relationship with this game. All I'm partly glad of is fucking Ghost Recon's just round the corner. So if
yeah.
they decide to piss me off a bit with this latest update, I've always got Ghost Recon
Did you
sitting
see the
there ready.
gameplay trailer for Ghost Recon? They did like an hour walkthrough
No,
of.
I've tried to stay away from as much as possible with stuff nowadays because a lot of stuff in things gets spoilt for me, and
Yeah,
sometimes
so
I prefer to go in like with a bit of unknown rather than sort of like having seen the shitload because then your expectations are up.
I watched like an hours of single player gameplay, and it looks really cool. It does remind me of the Division a lot though, with the way you duck behind cover and stuff. But it is the Ghost Recon style. You chuck in like your drones up and scouting the area and stuff like that, and the world looks really cool as well. So I've got a lot of high hopes for it, especially with the four player drop in drop out co-op, and I think that will kill the Division a little bit. But also, what I wanted to mention was Rainbow Six came out before the Division, and I thought that would kill Rainbow Six for me. But Rainbow Six is a game that I still keep on going back to. I played a little bit of that last week with a few people from the community, and that's still a really fun game as well. So um,
Yeah.
these Ubisoft games have a lot of longevity in them, and they are really fun. And I do think Colin needs to fucking check them out and stop hating on the French. So. Anyway, we are running short on time. We've actually gone a lot longer than what I thought we were going to do, so I'm just going to run through the
Mm.
questions from Facebook and then
yep.
Cool.
end. So,
No worries.
first question is from Ashley Hooch Dangerfield. Would like to commend Russell on a very good live stream and for giving good information on Elite Dangerous. Also, would this be a good idea for other games to help members with other games where they may be struggling with the mechanics?
Yeah, I mean,
I
you can
mean,
do that.
yeah, big props to Ruski there. He did a Twitch stream and invited people from the community into a tutorial session for Elite Dangerous, and helped a lot of people out. His video from a lot of people watched the video. I didn't actually watch it, and he didn't save it, so I couldn't watch it. But a lot of people found it very informative. So would like to see more of that in the future. And yeah, it's a good way for the community to get together as well. So. I'll just like to give him big props as well. It's nice for him to take the time to do that. You know, it's awesome. So yeah, big props to you, Ruski. That's really really nice of you to do that. It's awesome. And you can find him on his stream, and we're now hosting his streams as well on the Mojo channel. So when he streams, it pops up on ours as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool feature. I think Twitch have just added that. So yeah, if you're
I've seen people hosting and dragging people from stream to stream, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Nicky Wilson says, "What's your favourite handheld console and your favourite handheld games?"
Vita is my favourite handheld console. Games, it's quite hard. I've got quite a lot of games on the Vita I really enjoy. To pick a favourite one would be quite difficult, to be honest.
Mine would be the Game Gear and Sonic.
I'll actually tell a lie. I would
probably
say, just for the sheer amount of time I put into it, favourite game on a handheld would probably end up being Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. Like 900 hours I put into that in co-op with my mates.
Yeah, mine would actually be the PSP for Final Fantasy Crisis Core. The greatest handheld game ever made.
I think mine would be the PSP, but I can't think of any games offhand at the moment. I must admit the other thing as well I used to like about the PSP, and I still use it now, is for the films.
Yeah, those little films are cool. Yeah,
I've got about 100 films in the other room, UMDs.
Yeah, same as. And the thing is, it was great because it's like every time I go on holiday, I just take the PSP with me, take a couple of films with me, and I can sit and watch them. And whereas it's none of this download crap, it's just put the thing in, take it out. And at the moment, it's great. I'm buying for peanuts in CX. So I always go in there and see if they've got anything in there I haven't got.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're only like £1 or £2. So
it's weird because like CX seems to be going into retro games as well. Like I went in there the other week and they had a Super Nintendo cartridge in there for £80.
Yeah, they've got proper into retro. I mean, I was quite amazed when I went into the Brighton one. They had a Game Boy Advance, the little handheld.
Yeah.
£28 they wanted for that.
What?
Yeah, laughing, yeah.
Yeah, and I bet they bought it for like £2 or £3.
Yeah, well, they had a mini NES in there for 110.
What fucking bastards, aren't they?
PSVR 450. It was like,
wow.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, they do the N64 stuff now. They do all the SNES stuff. They do.
So because it's a growing market, isn't it?
They don't do PS1 though. They do PS2 and GameCube, but they don't do PS1, which I just think is a bit of a strange one because there's quite a lot of titles on the PS1 that have really gone up in value now. I mean, the Crash Bandicoots are easy £30 each now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky because I've got all of this stuff and I've had it for quite a while now. I mean, since I moved house, I'm going through boxes at the moment just to put stuff away into storage just up in the loft. And I'm coming through. I mean, I found you going on about Game Gears. I found 3 Game Gears here.
Fucking hell, man! Have you got the TV add-on thing for it?
Yes,
because that was awesome, man.
Yeah, I've got that here boxed as well. I was like, bloody hell, I didn't realise because I've had a few of them over the years and I've sold them, but I thought I got rid of them all. And I found another one that's boxed and mint. Don't look like it's ever been out the box.
And it won't even work now.
No, I know it's useless, but people will still collect them because it's part of that Sega memorabilia.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised to see EX because there's money. That's why they've got into it. But I've just noticed in general that retro stuff is really crept up in price at the moment. I mean, it's quite scary because for people that are trying to get into it, you're not going to get this stuff cheap anymore. Not
only that, all the stuff that's in tip-top condition is in the hands of collectors now.
So, I mean, there's so many people that are buying stuff, and if a collection appears on eBay and it's a big collection of games, someone will buy them just so they can split it and sell it back on again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into it really. I mean, I've got all the PS1 games I want, and it's just if you actually want to properly play the games, it's just easy enough just to download and emulate on the ROMs anyway. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got loads of stuff here that I should really most probably never play, but some of it, I mean, it's like all my Sega Mega Drive stuff. I've pulled out loads of stuff I didn't realise. I mean, I can see some of it now, like Wonder Boy 3, Afterburner 2, Incredible Hulk.
That was a great game.
Sonic Spinball. And it's like, well, I play these games. I might do one day, but not at the moment. Oh, Streets of Rage, I've just seen. But it's just like, for me also, just looking at the case and the artwork and the style of it, because you're never going to get that style artwork ever again. You know, and you get an instruction book, which you don't see anymore either. Who knows? But I can see the PS3 and the Xbox 360 going down that same route eventually. Might be another 10 years, but some of that stuff will start to creep up, you know, in price. I can see it already actually on stuff that already is starting to creep up. You know.
Yeah. So, what else have we got? That's a good question, by the way.
Yeah.
Elliot says, Nintendo thinks that the Switch will sell 10 million by the end of the year. The Wii U only just crossed 14 million. Discuss.
Well, we've done that earlier.
Yeah, will they actually produce this 10 million machines to sell? Is the first question I guess people should think.
Yeah.
I think the marketing's better on this, as in, this is coming out. All right, okay, a lot of people are negative, but the difference is people now know that this is a new console, whereas the Wii U, people just thought it was an add-on. They didn't realise it was actually a new console at the time that, okay, it would still play Wii games, but it was a completely new concept, whereas the Switch is completely different. I mean, the only difference is with this console is it won't play Wii U games. It won't play anything. It's completely new, so it's not going to have any back catalogue apart from whatever comes out on the virtual store. And then that's another grey area as well, which anything I've bought on the virtual store, will I be able to play on the Switch?
Probably not.
Probably not, which will piss me off slightly because I've bought quite a bit on the virtual store, from Super Mario 64 to Mario Party 2 the other day. So, and I've got stuff like Metroid, the collection, that I picked up when they had one of those offers on.
Might as well get that, considering Nintendo can't be asked to actually make another Metroid game themselves. That's what they should have done to create a bit of massive stir around the system. A new Metroid game. So we haven't had one for ages, like a proper one. I think the last one was a GameCube. So like Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Who
knows?
Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, move on. Yeah, we chatted enough about it earlier.
Daniel Brown says, how do you feel about speedrunning? Pointless, or do you admire the dedication?
Speedrunning? What games? We meant running down the road.
There was a speed running like charity event, wasn't there? Just run the last weekend or something, raised like $2 million, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think it's by a group called like Games Done Quick.
Okay.
They specialise in speed runs and using certain exploits in certain games to get through them a bit quicker and things like that. But I suppose if you're interested, I mean, I know a lot of people obviously that listen to us. Obviously, I know a few of them definitely like watched speed runs and stuff like Dark Souls and that.
Yeah, I've seen people speed run that. They run around naked through it and just run through the bosses.
But yeah, there's definitely some sort of skill to it and like knowing your games sort of a thing. But it's like, I suppose if you played the same sort of game over and over and over and over again and knew every little nook and cranny and maneuver and stuff, it should be fine. But it's good that sort of things like that can actually raise money for decent charities and things.
Okay. That's about it for the questions. Anything else you guys want to add?
No.
Not particularly.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
All right, cool.
I'm sure something will happen in the next week because it's gaming and something usually always happens.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
All right, then, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to the people on Twitch who are listening live and joining in on the conversation. If you want to join, for those of you listening to the podcast not on Twitch, find us on twitch.tv/Mojo Interactive. You can listen live and watch some weird videos of a dude looking at a Game Gear. So, so yeah, thank you very much. So from me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PSN ID, Steam ID, Webby317.
And Sensei Switch.
And from me, number one Stuntmaster.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to visit the website mojo-interactive.net. Follow us on Twitter at mojo_int and facebook.com/groups/Mojo Interactive. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Ooh.
And he just showed a picture of an Atari Lynx. What a beast those things were. I thought the Game Gears were bad.
You could probably club someone to death with one of them, couldn't you?
Pretty
Or
rare,
hit a
though.
home run. Yeah.
I've only ever
was
seen
it
one.
was it the original or was it number 2, like the Atari Lynx 2 or whatever it was?
Was there 2? I didn't know there was 2.
Yeah, there's one that's like more squared and one that's more sort of like elongated and rounded.
I never even knew. I've only ever had one.
One of the interesting things about those consoles that people might not actually realise is they were one of the first ever gaming devices that was super cool for people who were left-handed.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Because you just flip it around the other way.
Ah.
Because they've got 2 sets of buttons at the top and bottom on one of the
That's pretty
sides.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have an Atari. I mean, I've had, well, as I said, I've got some Game Gears here. The only problem with the Game Gears is they always have problems with the capacitors on them because they flipping lose sound or picture, or they have lines through. I've had
Yeah, the
loads
lines.
yeah, I've got loads of Game Gears I've had over the years that have just you buy at car boots and there's something wrong with it. So to be honest, I stopped buying them at car boots in the end because it got to the stage where you had to pay like, I don't know, you were paying like £5 to £10 for them, and you used to get home and the bloody things didn't work properly. So, but then now you'd never find them at all now. So the ones I've got, I most probably keep hold of now, most probably. So, and they're boxed as well. The original boxes they're in.
Oh.
So, there we go.
Pretty cool.
That guy's got a right old collection of stuff, hasn't he?
Yes, what's the video? Metal Jesus Game Room Tour, 5,000 games.
Oh, him. Oh, he's a funny old chap. He is. He's,
Yeah.
I've watched some of his videos. He doesn't clean his stuff.
What?
Well, basically put a video up the other week, and I saw a lot of people comment about it, and I looked at the comments before I looked at the video, and then I realised he basically put a picture up of his PS Vita, and it looked like he wiped his bum on it. It was just disgusting. It had all dirty, sticky. Yeah, you got to remember that these are HD videos now, so people can see all the little marks and the rest of it on the screen. It was like, oh.
No.
So he has some nice chicks that go to his house, though. I will say that.
Maybe it's stains from them, mate. You never know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to chip off anyway, guys.
That's
Yeah,
all right, mate.
That was cool.
What the hell are they? Are they cakes or something?
I can't see the chat, so this is all lost.
Okay.
Oh, the video, so this is all lost on me. I'll have to check it out later.
Bit strange.
Yeah, cheers, guys. I'm going to go anyway. I'll catch
Yeah.
you later, and I'll see you hopefully nice and early tomorrow morning, Webby, and we'll run Dunscathe again.
Yeah, man, I'll see you at 8.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be on at about 1:45 just to start getting ready and sorting my retainers and stuff out first.
I'd love to get Leon to work early in the morning then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go, sorry, I'm going to have to drop you off at work early because I need to run a...
She goes, why are you driving so far? I need to get back. Switch is coming online.
That's it.
Right, I'll see you guys later anyway.
Cool. Latest, dudes.
Right, see ya. Bye.
Bye.